Hi guys, in this video we're going to paint the wolf, so make sure you have your canvas out and ready. Get your paint on your plate ready to go. You're going to want a jar with some water in it, or a cup, or any kind of vessel just to hold some water. And you're going to need some brushes. I have an assortment of 3 sizes, and of course some paper towel in case you have a spill, or just just to dry off your brushes as we work. So I'm going to start with a Sharpie. You're going to want that too. A black permanent marker. It is important that it is permanent. Otherwise the ink from the marker is going to bleed into your paint. So to start, I'm just going to go around my wolf. This way I don't have to be super careful with my paint. I can be a little sloppy on my edges and not worry about it, because this will show right through the paint that I use. So just take your time and just go right over top of the pencil that's on your canvas. I'm also gonna do this hill. I don't know if it's necessary, but since I'm right here, why not? The moon, that'll be very easy to dodge. So I'm going to mix up some color, and we're going to work on the sky area first, around the outside of the moon. Let's see, let's do kind of a purpley blue. So I'm going to take some red and a little bit of blue, stir it together. And my white is creeping. I'm gonna add quite a bit of white to this because it's gonna be next to the moon. So I want these colors here close to the moon to be a little bit lighter, because the moon is like radiating light. We can always kind of lighten this up later too. So I'm just gonna start just going around the edge, this purpley color. Yours doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. When we paint the moon white, we can touch it up then. Should have mixed up a little bit more color. I'm already running out. So I don't have to be terribly careful around anything that's got the Sharpie on it. I can still see that well enough. I'm just gonna make this a little bit thicker. And I want this outside ring of paint to be a little bit wet, because I'm gonna be blending in. I'm gonna add more blue to my color. And I'm just gonna kind of be blending this around the outside edge. And I want those 2 colors to kind of squish together. Right now, it's like a distinct line. So just take a little bit of white. And I'm just gonna kind of hit both at the same time. And if you need to add more purple in, just grab a little bit more purple right on this edge, because it does dry really quick. And I got my heat blaring right now, so it's really drying fast on me. So I'm just kind of blue on the outside edge of that purple. Then just take a little bit of purple right on top to kind of squish it together, and a little bit of white. And you don't need a lot of paint on your brush. It doesn't take much at all. Blue. Add a little bit more purple in because it's dry. And blue. A little bit more purple. And a little bit of white. And I'm getting a little sloppy on my moon. Like I said, that's okay. Whoops, I got red. It's all right. I'll just blend it through. And it's okay that we're a little sloppy because the white will paint on top. So I'm gonna continue on getting some blue on. I'm gonna take a little bit of purple where those colors meet. Go right on top. And a little bit of white. So as I work outward more, it's gonna be more blue. A little bit of red mixed in. And you see, I just darken my blue just a little with just a little bit of red. And I'm gonna go all the way to the outside edge. So I'll just do a little piece at a time. So I've got this corner for now. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of white where they kind of meet and touch and just blend outward. A little bit more white. And you can always add more purple in if you need. So my purple got kind of skinny, so I'll just put a little bit more purple on. And since that paint is nice and wet, it blends. And I'll take a little bit more white. Just blend it. So over here, I've got my dark blue. I'm not cleaning my brush at all between these steps because all these colors just kind of go together. They all kind of smush and blend. So right on my edge where the colors meet, get my blue in there. I have this distinct line I want to get rid of. So I'm just going to take a little bit of purple, about an ounce of purple. Mix up a little bit more. I put a little white in that earlier, so let's add a little bit more white in that. And it's okay if it doesn't match exactly. By the time it all gets smushed together, you'll be fine. So right on where they meet, back and forth on that edge, soften that line a little. Take a little bit of white on your dirty brush. I'm just gonna blend it through. And a little bit more white. And it's very little bits of paint. I'm trying to keep this kind of curve to the stroke of my brush to keep it round. I'm gonna just repeat this process down at the bottom. Oops, I got a little mist canvas there. So either side, I'll just start here because it's closest to me. Take my dark blue that I just had made up. I'll just come right on the edge here where the purple meets. And go all the way out. Just mixing up a little bit more, ran out. So my brush strokes are curved. You want to keep your paint fairly thin over here where the legs are. You probably can't see through the camera, but I can still see my little black outline of the leg. I'm gonna put purple right where they meet to try to blend these two colors together. So right on the edge, I've got my purple. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of white. And I'm just blending it through. I'm gonna repeat it over here. Take my dark blue. Right on this edge. Fill in all the way down. Then take some purple, amount of purple, make it a bit more. Right on the edge. Then a little bit of white. That was a lot bit of white. Maybe too much, but we'll get her worked through. I'm just gonna blend it down. Keep your brush strokes curved. Got a little light down there on the bottom, but that's okay. Okay, so we got the background, the whole sky filled in. I am now going to work on the moon. If you wanted to put like some stars in, maybe you could do it now. I'm gonna wait. I'll do the moon, and then just kind of put some stars in after I do the moon, I think. So nice clean brush. Might as well just use my big brush. It's nice and clean and ready. And I'm just gonna fill in this whole circle with white. So just some white paint. You can go right over the wolf, as you can see. So long as your paint is thin, not thick and globby, you can see it. You can kind of overlap a little onto the background, that's fine. And don't worry if it's a little wet. We're gonna be blending some blues and purples into the moon as well. So if you pick up a little of that color while you're doing the moon, that's perfectly fine. Just try to keep your moon round. Mine's starting to get a little wonky. I've got this white paint all over my moon. And I'm just going to take a little bit, just a tiny bit on my dirty brush of this purple. Just kind of blend it through. Maybe a little bit of the blue, just a little bit. You kind of blend it over here. So that didn't take a lot at all, and see how dark that got. So I'll just take some white and just kind of soften it with some white. And you're just going to kind of take the little bits that are on your brush and kind of move them around all over the moon. Maybe we'll get a little bit more purple. A little bit more white. Help soften that color. Oops, I got a little messy there. I'll have to fix that. And you can just kind of get this smushed all throughout your white. Just a smidge more blue. Maybe through the middle here. A little bit more white on my brush. Soften that. Just so we have a little variation in our moon color. It's not just bright white. Because when you look up at the moon, it looks like it has like shadows and things on it. Because it's not perfectly smooth. It's got like craters. So the light that reflects off of it from the sun, you know, hits it and creates like shadows. I need to just touch up my little bit there. I got a little sloppy and it's gonna show. So let me just take a little purple in. Let's cover that up a bit. There, perfect. Now the last step, well, stars, but the last step really is just painting black. You'll just fill in the silhouette. So the whole wolf gets painted black and this little mountain rock thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all the black first. In the very end, I put the stars in. So just take your time. I'm using small brush, medium brush, whatever you're comfortable with. You're gonna wanna make sure this is dry before you go in, or it'll turn gray. I'll do my stone here first because there isn't much paint at all on that, just kind of on the edges, and that's perfectly fine. I use a medium-sized brush for that. I can't really see my lines too awful perfectly, but it's the rock, so it'll be fine. Doesn't have to be exact. Let's see. So maybe we got our rock comes here. Oh, my canvas moved. Maybe comes down a little. Down, maybe like a little cliffy thing there. So even if you can't see your edge, I couldn't see mine real good. I just made it up. Just nice, smooth, even paint. And I'm just gonna blow this dry quick just to ensure that it's all the way dry. You just take your time and be patient. Wait for it to dry all the way before we go in and paint the wolf. All right, good to go. So just take your smaller brush and get all those little spots filled in. I'll go and do the little bits first, and then I can use a bigger brush to fill in the larger areas. And just make sure you get the Sharpie underneath covered. You don't want that poking through in the end, like showing. Can't really see his tail that great, but it just kind of comes up and then back down, connects here where I can see it. That's easy enough. The legs do get a little bit lost. I could see the bottom here comes right into this rock. Kind of pokes up a little for like the ankle. The back side here. It's got a thick little upper leg, and then it gets narrow. Back leg. I just spread that thick paint around quick before it gets all sticky and gross. Don't want globs, so I'm just spreading it out. This back leg just kind of comes down to the little point and then comes straight down, kind of at an angle. And this leg just runs right into the hill here. And now I'm going to switch brushes and just get the rest filled in. Got all the little bits. Now to use this big area, we'll fill in much easier using a bigger brush. And you might want to go back in when this is all done and dry and just do another quick coat. Sometimes the black, you don't get all those little bumps and grooves filled in, and it works better if you just go back in later. Easy peasy, don't have to worry about matching the color again. Fabulous. So I can see a few spots down in here that a little bit of the white is kind of sparkling through. You can just go in when it's dry, touch it up, easy. I am going to put some stars in. I'm going to use a tiny little brush, or you can use the back end. I'll probably use both. So just with my little brush and some white, I'll do some like little asterisk kind of stars. Just a few of those. Maybe one down here. Just tiny ones. And just some little dots. And a lot of times people like to take the back of the brush, dip it in the white paint, and then just dab it on. That makes nice little dots too. Just whatever you prefer. Just going all over, getting some stars in. You can do as many or as few as you like. I think I could use a little bit more. Some itty bitty ones. Ah. I'm gonna say that's good. Maybe I didn't get any over here, right on the edge there. I'm just gonna sign my name. I'll make a nice dark gray, so it doesn't show up too light. Just kind of subtle. I like to thin my paint with a little water. Just dip my brush in the water and stir the water from my brush right in my paint. And I'm gonna sign right here on the black. There, all done. When you guys finish, please take pictures. I like seeing your work. You can post them to my Facebook page, Willy-Nilly. I have a post pinned right at the top, so you can find it super easy. Please share them with me. I love it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.